Now, you may be aware, but there's a relatively, or may not be aware, there's a relatively new arm of the rescue services. They're called BASICS Emergency Doctors. We're going to be out with them throughout the series, and Joe, you're here to explain more about them. So, who are they? What do they do?
Exactly, I've been out with them, and normally when you get an incident, it's a paramedic that attends with an ambulance. That's standard, but occasionally you get really severe incidents, critical casualties and trauma. And in those cases, it's really important to get an emergency doctor at the scene. They can make all the difference very quickly. Effectively, they're bringing the hospital to the patient. But it's not automatic you get these, because these are volunteers. They're giving their time off, their days off. They should be, you know, shopping or walking the dog, and actually they've got a pager and they attend these incidents.
But the key that they're there because there's a golden hour accident.
It makes all the difference what happens in that first hour, and these guys bring very specific skills to the scene. They can anaesthetise and they can even carry out operations. You know, that's at the really extreme end. And today we can see what happened when I went out with a BASICS doctor when she was called to a serious road incident. Well, I'm with Dr. Louisa Chan in her emergency response vehicle. She's just signed on, effectively, for a day covering emergencies in Hampshire. And no sooner had we got in the car, a call's just come through for Louisa. It's a road traffic collision between a lorry and a car. There's a woman who might have head injuries. That's exactly what you'd be expected to cover, isn't it, Louisa, as a doctor on call?
Yeah, that's quite a typical job for us to go to. So I would say that 40% of our calls are road traffic accidents.
Why have they called you to this, Louisa, in particular? Because, I mean, you're more skilled, or you have sort of higher medical qualifications than a paramedic, say, don't you?
Yeah, so we can provide additional critical care skills at the side of the road, whereas a patient may deteriorate if they don't receive that care immediately.
There's no hard shoulder here, is there?
No, so what we do is to get the traffic to part, we slow right down, and eventually everyone gets the hang of it.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's starting to part now.
It's like the parting of the sea. And what we'll do, we'll sneak in behind that police car.
After colliding with a lorry, a car has hit a tree. It's very badly damaged. We find police and ambulance already tending to a woman and to 3 children who are lying down by the roadside, apparently injured. The worried dad who was driving the car seems to be unhurt.
Husband sneezed, put his hands up to sneeze.
Oh, let go of the wheel.
Yeah, hit the lorry.
Yes.
The car, according to the eyewitness, has then flipped over. Not spun, but flipped over.
Are there scratches on the roof?
Well, I haven't looked at the roof yet.
Okay.
We've got this little one here, she's complaining of abdominal pain.
Yeah, and that's Dad there.
Yeah.
OK. Hello there. Right, my name's Dr. Chen. I work at the hospital. OK. So, can I just ask your little girl's name?
Yeah, Manu.
Manu, OK.
With all the road noise and distressed people, I wouldn't know where to begin. But Dr. Chan's trained eye immediately starts assessing which patient needs the most attention first.
And the problem is
Stomach.
stomach pain. And was she in the back of the middle?
Yeah,
Middle back, so just the lap belt? Yeah. So we're just looking at the stomach now, and there's no bruising or anything.
Nope.
She's guarding.
Yeah.
So
it might be positional because she's...
Might be. Let me just...
okay.
Guarding means that the little girl's tummy muscles have tensed up, which could be a sign of an underlying injury.
She's not wincing
Just
particularly.
relax, darling. Just lay down.
Lie down.
Lie down.
Hello.
Lie down.
How are you feeling? You seem to be walking and...
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just glad my family's there with the wife and kids. I could lost my whole family, just like that.
What went through your mind when it was all...
When I sneezed, I've hit something, and then, you know, I've hit the lorry, and you span, you hit back the barrier, and you flip like that, and you've gone straight into that tree there, and landed over there.
Hit the barrier on that side and flipped across to this side and hit the tree?
Yeah, flip like that, and hit the tree and landed there.
It's horrible that just one sneeze has led to all this. I'm just amazed that all the family are conscious and breathing.
Where does it hurt in your tummy? At the bottom of your tummy? OK. And at the side? OK.
It's a serious accident. An air ambulance is already on its way, dispatched as a precaution after witnesses reported the flipped car with multiple occupants.
Does that hurt on the back there? On your neck? No? Shoulder. Can you put your hand on the back of your head? Fantastic.
Dr. Chan is working out who needs to go to hospital and by what means.
I think Mum could travel sat up, with that.
With the nipper.
Yeah,
right.
with a little one.
The helicopter's just put down. It can only be probably 20 metres from us in the field, just across this verge. So it turns out the air ambulance does have another doctor on call today. In the green helmet there, Dr. David Sutton's just turned up. So these people are in very good hands now with 2 doctors on scene.
So I've got 5 casualties. The 2 sickest are a little girl of 4 who's got abdominal pain. She's guarding. She's just in that truck there, and she'll be going to Basingstoke. And this little girl here who's got lower abdominal pain, and she's also got right hip pain.
Dr. Chan reassures the 8-year-old daughter about the head restraints they have to use.
This is going to keep you really toasty and hold you onto the board.
They're a bit scary, but they're not that bad. I've been on one, it's not that bad.
The doctors not only assess the casualties, they also check out the car.
So, Doctor, can I ask you what you're looking for when you're looking at the wreckage like this?
Well, we're looking for the amount of impaction. Look at the front here, there's been a huge amount of damage to the front of the car, so that means there's a massive amount of energy that's been transferred to the occupants in the car, so that would suggest there might be serious injuries. Inside, both the airbags are deployed as well, so again, there's quite a lot of sort of impact.
It's phenomenal that a car can crash into a lorry and the barrier, flip over, take out a tree, and the driver's walking around.
Well, it's a modern, safe car.
Dr. Chan has decided both daughters are the ones she's most concerned about, and they need to go to hospital for a checkover. The 4-year-old will travel with her mother, while the 8-year-old will go with Dad.
It's all right, we'll get Daddy.
Daddy's there.
Daddy? Oh, I don't know his name. Hang on 2 seconds. Hi, do you want to just follow in the ambulance? She's just getting a little bit upset. That's fine. Excellent.
The helicopter isn't needed for transport to hospital, as no members of the family appear to have life-threatening injuries. Travelling by road ambulance also keeps the family together. But Louisa tells me she's still concerned about 2 of the children.
What can happen, certainly with lap belt injuries, is that you can get an injury to the tummy that's not internally, that you can't really make a full assessment of immediately, and only time and observation will sort of give you the answer, really.
So A&E locally, or?
They're both going to the local emergency department. As a family, they've been very, very lucky.
Now, what we've got here is the car that the BASICS doctors use, and basically it's like a kind of mobile A&E unit. Paul and Louisa are here. Hi there. It's a really impressive piece of kit, this. Tell me what you've got, and you're busy doing stuff, Louisa.
Yeah. So we use the car to transport all our advanced resuscitation gear. So we've got advanced monitoring, so if we have to anaesthetise somebody, put them to sleep at the scene of an accident, we can do it safely and monitor them on their way to hospital. And a resuscitation pack here containing all our important resuscitation gear, so it allows us to give treatments over and above that our paramedic colleagues can give.
And this is really sophisticated equipment, isn't it?
Yeah, really, so we can bring sort of hospital emergency department care to the roadside. That's the aim.
Louisa, you don't just have, I know you don't just have cars, also you go out on helicopters as well. You've got one ongoing this morning,
yes,
haven't you?
We've got one of our BASICS doctors flying with the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulance today, and we know he's already been dispatched to an incident in the countryside, so around Droxford, so we're just waiting to hear from him.
And the speed with which you can get there, and as you say, anaesthetise people and do really important stuff on the side of roads, for example, that can make a difference to lives, can't it?
Yeah, we know from data from Europe, for example, that if you're critically ill in a road accident, say, and you get one of a pre-hospital trained doctor out to you, your chance of survival can be up to 3 times greater than if we can't make it.
OK, and just quickly, you've had an incident, haven't you, with a child who was hit by a van. What happened there? Well,
he was crossing road after school, got knocked over by a van, suffered a head injury, and then had a seizure, so he needed an emergency anaesthetic by the roadside, and then rather than taking him to the nearest hospital, we took him to the most appropriate hospital, which was Southampton, for his neuro and his paediatric intensive care.
OK, so it can really make a difference. Thank you both.
Thanks very much.